Well, here we go again. Stories by Tim. We're gonna continue with movies tonight. Um, there are other things I'd like to talk about, but I started on this journey the other day, and let's just keep going with it. Um, I talked about a lot of movies the other day, and let's continue on with that journey. I'm gonna let's go Disney. So when Chris and I first started dating, Little Mermaid had just come out, and we missed that thing. Beauty and the Beast was next, and yes, we did see that in the theater. And yes, I bought as much Beauty and the Beast merchandise as I could for us. A game, the trading cards, so many things that, uh, yeah. And then, you had Lion King, you had um, Aladdin. There are so many Disney movies that made a big part of my world. Um, I remember going to see Toy Story for the first time and going, holy crap, they're making this super realistic. That was that first Pixar movie. Um, my favorite, no, there's a few, but if I had to rank number one, Ratatouille. Ratatouille is a movie that speaks to me because I like to cook. And I could relate to a lot of what was going on in that movie. Cooking is kind of my therapy. It's kind of my way to relax. Um, I don't cook as much as I used to because I live by myself now. Um, when you know, I had when I was living with my family, I would cook a lot more, and I learned to make a lot of things homemade. Beyond just grilling, beyond just boiling things, I would actually make pasta. I would make pasta sauce. I would make breadsticks. I'd make pizza dough. I would make pizza. Uh, I had many Chinese recipes that I know that I can still rattle off in the top of my head and without a problem. But uh, but yeah, that movie really spoke to me. That was one that I could understand where the rat's coming from, where he's what he wants to do and his passion for it. I have a passion for food as well, but yeah, that movie is iconic to me. Iconic. Um, that is one I can watch repeatedly and never get tired of it. Never get tired of it. And then you got Frozen. Wow. All I gotta say, wow. Um, I can't believe that Idina was Elsa and had those iconic songs. But she was also in an earlier Disney show that was live action, Enchanted, and she never got a song. I don't get that. To this day, I do not get that. That is not fair to her. She should have had a song. She should have had a song in that movie. And I just came across something the other day where there's actually a deleted scene where she does have one. And I'm like, well, why didn't that get included? I mean, I get it. You've got to edit things down. You've got to, because now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to age out of roles. I'm starting to look more into directing shows. And I get the idea that you've got to make cuts on certain things. Not that I will be able to if I'm directing a theater show, because there are copyright laws. One that I would love to do is Shawshank Redemption. There are issues with that. There are two really big issues. First, it's 12 men that are in that show. I don't think, I mean, even with the current theater industry, that I could cast non-males in roles for that show, for that particular show. It just wouldn't fit. And nothing against anybody on that front. It just wouldn't be right. Second thing is, I can't change any language in that show. So that limits me to where I can do this. I mean, there's one theater I would love to do it at, but they will never agree to it because I can't change any of the language in it. And the language is strong. It's one of my favorite stories, but I can't change anything. It's right in the opening of it, because I ordered the script myself and I've read through it several times. And one of the first things that's in the beginning, opening part, is you're not allowed to change anything in this story. Love it, but I can't change it. So, okay, I haven't talked about that movie. So in the book that this comes from, it's actually a novella. It's not actually a full book. Red is a white Irishman. In the movie, he's played by Morgan Freeman. Obviously, not a white Irishman. But to this day, I think that was the best casting ever. I really do. He nailed that part. And every time I listen to it, because I have it on audiobook, every time I read it, because I've read it several times, he is the one that I am thinking about in that part. It's not anybody else. Um, shoot, let's continue with Stephen King movies. Now that I think about it, my favorite Stephen King series is The Dark Tower. There originally were 7 books. He added an 8th book that comes in between 4 and 5. Stephen King fans call it 4.5. But the Dark Tower series is kind of his, Maxis opus. That's his signature on his entire career. And so many of his other books have tie-ins, some very directly, some limited, but there are tie-ins to a lot of his books to the Dark Tower series. So when they made a movie based on Dark Tower, I was excited. In the books, Roland is a white guy, very tough white guy. I would never want to, go against him. I'll tell you that. I would be dead. Uh, but when they cast the movie, they cast Idris Elba as the main character Roland. Who Roland is iconic. And I wasn't sure how I would feel about that. And I wasn't sure about this movie as well. And so many people do not like this movie because it has no, besides, being part of that world, it really doesn't fit with the story. Those of you who have read this, and I'm not going to give out spoilers here. My take on it, it's yet another story upon the path of the beam, and Matthew McConaughey playing, the villain in it, made it even more special to me. I have no issue with the movie. As I said, it was yet another story on the path of the beam. Did I think it I would have loved it to follow more along the actual storyline of the books, but I was not upset that it didn't. It was another story. It was another story. All right, let's go into it. There are 2 versions of it. There was the one done in the late or early 90s where Tim Curry played Pennywise, and then there's the more modern one that was done by one of the Skarsgårds, and I forget which one it was. I like both. I still like Tim Curry's Pennywise better. He was more creepy to me because he was funny, but then he was very evil. Where the Skarsgård, it is more just evil. There wasn't the humor factor there for me. The visuals, some of the new casting was better, but my feeling is the original TV miniseries, even though They had to edit things out. They had to be very careful with what they did show. I still think is better, but that's just me. Yeah. But there are a lot of movies that I can talk about. All right. So let's see, which one should I do next? Hmm. We did RoboCop. We did. Let me see. Wow, I might have to add a little bit of this out. Well, no, I'll just leave it in. I like to have a little bit of drama here. Um. Well, here we go. Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones. Saw the original with my parents. And in the scene where the guy's faces melt, sorry if I spoiled it for anybody. I remember my mother covering my eyes in that scene because she didn't want me to see that. The next two I saw with my best friend when they came out, and the third one, oh my god, what a movie! Sean Connery and Harrison Ford in a movie together. Wow. And their play, the way they acted off each other, I want a role like that. I mean, doing theater, that's the person I want across from me when I'm acting. I've had it a couple times, but not to that level. Not to that level. I've had some wonderful people that I have acted with that I would love to act with again, but as I said, nothing quite to the level of Connery and Ford, what they did in that movie. I would love that. I would love to have someone across from me at that level as well. That yeah, that acting was amazing. The fourth movie, eh, even though they brought back, you know, um, Marion, you had John Hurt in it, you had Shia LaBeouf in it. Not a huge fan of that movie. Um, Great series overall. Great series, but that fourth movie did not need to be made. My only, I guess, my favorite part of that whole movie, and this is going to sound weird, is when he climbs into the refrigerator before the nuclear blast. That is probably my favorite part of that whole movie. But yeah, Harrison Ford, what an actor! The roles he's done through the ages. I mean, starting with oh god, what is the name of that movie? Uh Shit. It was done in the early 70s. That's where he got his start. and it's going to bug me because I've actually seen that movie that I can't remember what it is. But then coming on and reading, just filling in reading for Star Wars, he wasn't even trying to get the role, and George Lucas cast him anyway. And that launched his career, and then all the things he's done since are because of that. Um, but yeah, he's one of my favorite actors. I have a lot of favorite actors. Morgan Freeman got a late start um, doing things as well. Um, man, I could list so many of my favorite actors. Not going to do it right now. But yeah, Morgan Freeman and Harrison Ford are definitely on the list. Um, I'm going to have to start writing things down that I talk about so I don't talk about them repeatedly. And I'm gonna have to make that list. I'm gonna grab a tablet here shortly and start writing things down, just so that I start remembering. I'm gonna watch through my previous videos and list what I've talked about. So don't worry, I'm on it. That's kind of one of the things you have to do, I guess, doing these things. This is video 11. I hope I haven't repeated myself about certain things. That's the thing I worry about the most is repeating the same stuff and people being bored. But yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I have a lot of Disney movies I've watched. Um, I will make a note of, I'll rewatch this, make notes, and make sure I don't talk about other Disney movies or Disney movies that I've already talked about. Um, I don't know what my next one is going to be about. I probably should get off the movie thing for right now, until I make my notes and uh, make sure that I'm not talking about the same movies. Maybe the next one will be musicals. That's an interesting thought. Maybe I can make that one now. No, I will go back through my videos and make notes before I do that because I think I've talked about a couple of them. So, but anyway, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, like, hit that little alarm bell so you get when I put up new videos. And I appreciate your time for listening to me just talk. Stories by Tim. Thank you.